Well, I know it's been almost a month since I have put a video up, and summer came, and all of a sudden the work comes in, and I've been slammed for, I don't know, a month now, almost 6 weeks. And it's really nothing that I can video because we're doing a lot of gates and fences out in the world. And when you're at a customer's property installing or building gates and fences, you can't really set up a camera. So we're back to the Dragon after such a long time, and I'm kind of in the process of building the front legs. And you can see I've got some sketches of dragons kind of looking at the legs themselves. And here we are building the shoulder and bringing that around and welding it in place. And at this point it's a matter of checking out all of the angles and making sure everything's going to fit visually. Well, an interesting thing happened between the time that I just spoke, which is, 30 seconds ago, and now that I'm working on the leg. A week has gone by. And during that week, my wife and I went to Mendocino for just a bit of a holiday for 5 days. And during that 5 days, and prior to that 5 days, we were putting in this fence and gates on a property, and the entire property sits on a mountain of rock. And basically, there was a lot of ups and downs and a lot of angles that you'd step and your leg would go one way or the other way. And by the time we got into about a week of that, and my body was giving out on me. So my wife and I go to Mendocino, and I'm crippled. Literally, I can walk maybe 100 yards, and then I got to sit down because my hips are hurting me, and my knees are hurting, my ankles are hurting. My God, my body is falling apart. But out of that, I had 5 days to kind of think about it, and I decided to retire from the, going out into the world and doing gates and fences, because that is a real taxing job and I don't need it. So Jason is going to pick that part back up and run with it. And in fact, the job that we were in the process of, he just carried on, and it's taken him 6 weeks to do that particular job. So I am left here at the shop. And by the time we got back from the vacation, there was a couple of jobs piled up, And so I needed to take care of those jobs in the shop. So I needed to take care of those, and I got those out of the way. And now I'm kind of, and then I cleaned the shop really well, and I haven't done that in a couple of months. And so now I'm in the process of sitting down with the dragon once again. And what you're looking at is before all of that took place. And and I'm working. I've just today worked on the dragon for about, oh, I don't know, 3 hours or so. What we're doing now is you can see that I've built kind of a flimsy little cage out of 1/4 inch material, and now I'm cutting off the basic structure that gave me the idea of where the leg is going to go. And now I'm cutting a hole inside of the scales so that I can come in with a really strong piece of steel and attach it to the inside frame. And you can see I've cut a little rectangular hole. Now, I don't, doesn't really matter what that hole looks like. So there we go. We've got that one piece of steel in there. Now we'll just adapt that up, or move the camera up, and there it slides in. And I've cut it at an angle, and it should just about fit. There we go. And then I V'd the piece, and now it should just slip right in and give me the basic structural strength that I need in order for that leg to hang out in open air. Well, it's not going to hang out in open air. It's going to actually be on the ground. But if somebody climbs up on this thing, I don't want things kind of giving way on it. And also, we get snow in the wintertime, and a couple of years ago, we got 6 feet of snow. And 6 feet of snow on top of this thing could crush some stuff. So we're going to do a superstructure here, spend a little extra time. All right, well, it's back and forth several times until we get kind of what we want. It doesn't have to go dead center. It can just go someplace down to the ground, which is what I'm doing here. And we're using a bunch of scrap stuff that we have laying around. That actually, a bunch of it is from this particular job that Jason is finishing up. So little pieces. What do we have there? A 6-foot piece, and then later on we're going to come in with like 6-inch pieces. And but you can see that I've tacked and welded that outside framing to the actual superstructure of the piece, all the way to the ground. Okay, one leg is enough. I mean, I probably spent 4 hours getting that one leg set up. So I'm going to come in and redo or continue the process of welding in the chest piece. And you can see that, it just keep going down toward the ground. I'm getting to the point to where I'm going to have to raise this thing up in the air because it's getting too low for me. And at this age, bending down is not an easy thing. All right, I think it's the next day and I'm kind of fresh. And all right, so let's weld all of these joints together so it's good and strong. If you notice, there's a big gap in the chest part where the segments went one direction and I didn't allow for that rotation, and so there's this big gap there and I can't figure out what to do with it. I'm sure something's going to happen. I'm probably going to build a single piece of steel that will kind of fold into those corners. But for now, it looks ugly. So probably what I had there was going to be enough, but I thought, let's just throw a gusset in there just to make things extra strong. And what does it take? A piece of scrap material and 5 minutes of welding. No big deal. And I'm going to add a couple more gussets in on the legs. Again, just in case. Just to give it a little bit more strength. Okay, as we sit, we're kind of coming to the close of this video, and I got more coming. This is Nick Collier, and checking out for now. See you in the next week or so when I put up the next video.